Flood Re, the replacement for the Statement of Principles, which was the government's agreement with the insurance industry to assure affordable flood insurance is available for households, is due to be introduced in the summer of 2015. However, debate still continues around schemes, exclusions and its implementation. With this in mind today, I'm delighted to say I'm joined in the studio by Flood Re Interim Chief Executive Tom Woolgrove to discuss some of these issues. Welcome to the studio, Tom.
Thank you.
Flood Re was 3 years in the making and it took some time for government and insurance industry to agree terms. Is the timetable of having the scheme ready for next summer still realistic, and will Flood Re be ready?
You're right, it is a challenging timescales, but yes, it is realistic. There are three elements we're working. So with government, we've got to agree the legislation, and that's clearly a challenging process, has to go through the democratic process of review and scrutiny. We've got to go through authorisation, so the PRA needs to be satisfied that Flood Re is authorised in its own right, and clearly that takes time. And then Flood Re itself needs to be ready. We've got lots of work to do for operational processes, the system building the council tax database, and all of those are challenging. But we're still aiming to be ready by the summer. We think all those three elements are quite challenging to do, but everybody's really committed to hitting the summer. I think Flood Re is so important that we need to get it ready when it's robust and when the processes can work. But those are timescales we're working towards, yes.
The Association of British Insurers has predicted the reinsurance arrangements for Flood Re will cost between 250 million and 2.4 billion. The procurement process has been started, but how will it be managed and how close are these arrangements to being in place?
So reinsurance is a really important part of the Flood Re model. There are two big procurements we're doing, and because Flood Re is likely to be a public body, we're having to go through European procurement. So appointing the reinsurance broker is one, and they'll help us design a reinsurance scheme. We'll go and then purchase that in the market. The second one is a managing agent, so to manage all the operations, the finance aspects. That's part of the sort of critical path of the build. But we're doing well. We're about to release them. We'll probably release the managing agent one by the end of July, the reinsurance broker just after that. So they are on track, and people in the market will be able to see them, and hopefully we're going to see some good companies wanting to work with Flood Re. So yes, we're in good shape, but it's critical that we do get those partners on board, because that's really how Flood Re is going to be successful.
There's been some debate over Flood Re's contentious exclusion of Band H and I properties. The ABI has previously said that people living in Band H homes could face issues with affordable cover. Should Flood Re cover Band H properties?
Band H is a really contentious point. There's been a lot of coverage, you're right. To be very clear, Flood Re and the ABI are saying that Band H should be included. We think it's only right that all residential properties should access Flood Re. They're likely to pay the levy, so they should be included. But it's a choice for government. It's a policy decision, and whether people in council tax bands A to C should subsidise those in larger properties. But just to be very clear, it's a decision for the Secretary of State. He's going to consult on it as part of the secondary legislation. So the timeframes of the next 6 months as we put those secondary legislation into statute. So it's very much a decision for the Secretary of State, but Flood Re is very clear. We'd like Band H to be included.
Another contentious issue has been the fact that small businesses are not covered under the scheme. The British Insurance Brokers Association claims its research with brokers shows that there are affordability and availability issues here, and DEFRA has agreed to look into this. Do you think that Flood Re is the place for SMEs, or should they be looking for another solution?
So fundamentally, I don't think Flood Re is the answer for small businesses. A number of reasons for that. First of all, every retail policyholder is going to be paying a levy, and it's a matter of public policy whether retail consumers should subsidise businesses. So that's consideration one. Secondly, I think the ABI is talking very constructively with BIBA about whether there is an issue or not. But I think BIBA itself would say that they don't see Flood Re as being the mechanism to provide that support to SMEs if it's needed. My focus very much is about getting Flood Re established. Its scope today is focused on residential policyholders, and I think that's right. So if there is an issue, I don't think Flood Re is the answer to it.
Flood Re is specifically being designed to last for 25 years. What do you think and hope the future will look like for flood cover then?
Well, firstly, flood insurance is really important for the UK. If you look at all the science, the climate science, then we're going to see more and in more extreme volatile weather. So it's critical we create something that's sustainable. But I think Flood Re has three opportunities. I think the first is to raise awareness. So people using Flood Re need to be aware of the risk and they need to be incentivised to take action, and so Flood Re can do that. Secondly, government needs to continue investing in flood management, in flood defences. They need to invest to protect properties. Flood Re can't be the panacea to all ills. And thirdly, Flood Re needs to effectively move the market to risk-based pricing. We'll do that in two ways. One, the levy will be reduced over time, and then secondly, the premiums that Flood Re will charge will increase, and so that will slowly manage the migration towards risk-reflective pricing. That's where we want to get to, but I think again it's a joint effort between Flood Re, the insurance industry and government, and we each have roles to play within that.
Thank you very much for that. I'm afraid that's all we have time for, but thank you for shedding some light on those issues. This is part of Post Digital Claims Edition. For more on this topic, check out Post online in print and via the app edition. Also, don't forget to check out white papers and associated content on Post Intelligence app and also on Insurance Hound. That's all from me for now. Goodbye.